Good morning. Let's just do a little this. That's all better. I'm trying to remember what size we actually used. Good morning. Let's take a look and see if it was the. Yeah. Hey, Peter. Happy Friday evening to you. How are you? Joe, good morning. Hey, Peter, when are you flying out? I know it's this weekend, but it sounds like the weekend is it's upon you now. Morning, cup of Joe. Nice. I love it. Peter, may I ask you another question while I'm at it, because I feel like asking questions. How many languages do you speak? And by speak, I mean fluent in. I'm assuming you're at least fluent in Danish and English. I flew out Saturday, 7:30 local time. Okay, so boy, you're like less than 24 hours from flying out. Nice. Safe travels, brother. In case you're not on tomorrow, or we're not going to see you tomorrow, which is pretty likely. Edwin, good evening, my friend. How are you? Edwin, I'd like to ask you the same question. How many languages do you speak? And by speak, I mean, can you have you don't have to be like super fluent, proficient, but you have to have at least enough understanding that you can have a day-to-day conversation with somebody. Let's see. And we have Tom. Hey, Tom. I can communicate in Danish, English, German, French, Swedish, Norwegian, and to some extent, Japanese. And again, I want to make sure when you say communicate, I'm assuming you can have a verbal conversation with somebody. 2 languages, Bahasa, Indonesia, and English. I understand my local Japanese a bit, but I am not proficient at because there are 3 tiers of words in Japanese. From the noble, mid, peasant. Interesting. I find the new oh, you've noticed that, have you? Yes, a lot of undergating, and it sucks. Hey, Nick, good morning. What's going on, brother? Wow, that's a fuck ton of proficiency if you can communicate in all those. And it's interesting that you, to some degree, Japanese. So, Peter, and maybe this is like not the right forum to do this, but I'd love to know. You have I guess a basic understanding of Japanese. How'd you meet your wife? Every part is undergated, just about. Yeah, it sucks. All right, let's see if we can glue this part in. Teeny tiny little part. In fact, before we do that, let's get tweezers. Probably should snap half of it. Yeah. I've gotten sort of all of this. I mean, I will say this. As I said before, the way this all comes together is pretty freaking impressive. I got to do some cleanup on it, but for the most part, pretty happy with this. This has been pretty good. It's very, very well engineered hull installation. You have to know when to use which one, and don't even start on the writing system. It has a scribble more resemble the Thai writing glyph. Interesting. Yeah. Thai is such a I love the artistry of the Thai language. I don't know the language itself, but I love the writings of the language. It's a beautiful style, but it's like I can't figure that one out at all. In many ways, it reminds me very much of like Arabic. It's like I know that there's something here to this, but boy, it looks beautiful, but boy, I don't understand it. And of course, that's very much of a Western mentality. Japanese grammar is simple, but the politeness levels. Yes, our murder, I can communicate with wife in casual language, but we usually speak English. Oh, really? Oh, so she kowtows to you, does she? Capitulates to you? Nice. How does the old one compare to the new one? It's like an old model. I mean, there's few parts. There's not a lot of detail. The detail that's there is out of scale. It doesn't have quite the level of engineering. I mean, obviously, it didn't have undergating. Say thank you in Japanese. Yeah. Can you show them? I'm sorry, Tom, you haven't been here in like a couple of weeks regularly, and now you want me to stop what I'm in the middle of so I can show you the harpy? I started that project for you, and then you don't even deign to show up? Of course. So, just real quickly, and this is... No, I'm Danish. We both speak a second language. That's awesome. How to mind the undergating. Just the body. I don't like I hate undergating in general. I've said it quite often. So just in terms of like the bodies, that's the difference between the two. Let's see if I get these up here for you guys. You know. There's a lot of work that's going to need to get done on that. Yeah, no worries, Tom. Tom, you know I was just busting on you, right? No worries. That sarcasm in your coffee. It sure feels like it, doesn't it, Joe? Japanese and Japanese is almost the same. Kind of have a shock when one of my mom's students, who is mostly black, speak fluent Japanese, not just regular Japanese, but the mid and high one. Interesting. Yeah, the reason I'm asking is, again, I'm fascinated by, look, I speak two languages. I speak English and Greek, and everything else. I've got like two other languages that a little bit of Japanese. I can understand a very little bit of it, not enough to actually have a conversation, and a little bit of Spanish, just catching some things. French as well, but again, I could not have conversations with people in those languages. Could not. So I'm always fascinated when, we've got people from parts far and wide who join us and are able to communicate in a way that, I think, and I'm going to say this, it puts Americans to shame. I understand English is the lingua franca. I get it. But at the same time, it's interesting that, there are people throughout the world who speak so many languages. All right, let's see what we got here. I speak 3: English, Chinese, and cursive. What is cursive? This month was hell for me. Uh-oh, MSA. First of all, good morning. Secondly, I hope you're all right. And third, you want to elaborate? English isn't even an official language. According to what? Oji-san, which if I'm correct, if I'm trying to remember now, Oji-san ga Nihongo wakaru. Do you understand? Let's see if I can read this. Oji-san, basically a polite way of saying old guy, old man, old grandfather, or because it's Oji-san, granddad. Ga Nihongo o wakaru. Do you understand Japanese? I speak bad English, bad Polish, bad Spanish, bad Japanese, antibiotics. Nice. But Joe, but here's the question: Are you proficient in Polish in particular? I know that is your background. I'm kind of curious. At least it's a respected elder. Oh, I don't know about that. It is a little polite. I'm not sure if he really meant it that way. It is interesting watching Dragonar now, where they keep calling their sergeant Pops, and I think they actually call him Oji-san. And he keeps yelling back at them, Gunso. All right, let's get some thin cement here. OSG Kun. OSG Kun. Oh, I wish that were the case. In the States, no official language in law. Yes, Tom, we don't want that. We do not want English to be the official and only language of this country. Bad. I understand I can't speak or read. It's because I understand languages that way. Nice, Joe. If I was disrespectful, I would call you G. I think that's G. Oh, really? Interesting. See, I do love the Japanese language. I think there's so much nuance to it, particularly when you have, the kanji characters that can have multiple pronunciations and therefore multiple meanings. It's a good thing, but idiots are trying to make it. Yeah. Well, we're not going to go down the politics route of it. I agree with you. We're not going to go down that route today. But yes. All right. Let's see if we can get some of this wired up. I'm going to bend that one that way. And that one that way. And theoretically, those should go underneath the cockpit. The dashboard, excuse me. We'll see. It may work, it may not. Yo, what's going on, Ken? G is, however, the official language of the skies. Yes. Well, again, a lingua franca is a necessity so that, especially with in places of importance like pilots, you need to be able to at least be able to communicate if you're traveling internationally. Even countries have an official language, haven't enforced people to speak it except French, Canadian. Eh? Ken-san. Ohio. I like 44, thank you, in Japanese, which each one is more polite since Guy Sunshine, his stand-up is hilarious. Interesting. Guy Sunshine. All right, let's get some of this. Let's continue with this. I'm actually going to break this off. Actually, I'm not. Let me glue this part on first, if I can. Yes. Question is whether I'm going to glue it on with CA or thin cement. I think I'm going to have to do CA. Ohio, Peter. So there's about French Canada. They have 2 official languages. Yeah. What, English and French? Yeah, I love. I haven't been up to Canada. Consistently since since I think like 99, maybe 2000. And I remember when a buddy of mine and I went to the Montreal Hi-Fi show. And I remember when we got to our hotel, and he said, we immediately walk in, and it's like, bienvenue, good day. It's like there's like the 2 come out at the same time. And everywhere we went, that was how it felt. Now, I'm not sure if that's the same today. God almighty. There we go. But I thought that was fascinating that they use both languages in greeting at the same time. There we go. Little pool. Let's watch my fingers get stuck together. Fuck. Shit. They did get stuck. All right. Thank God for some debonder. Come on. I think I've lost skin. There we go. Let's see, Joe. Oops. The new gouge. Yep. The VF111 boosters and 155 black aces. Oh, the etch parts for. Oh, you did get the SDF1 etch parts. Good. Good for you. Yeah. I now have a good reason to keep this around. I don't use the bonder very often, but in the last couple of days, I've been using a lot of it to get this shit off my hands. There's a large ass kit. Yes, it's I believe it's 1/72 scale. Is that correct, Tom? A bottle of acetone handy. Maybe, probably not. Does Frenching a girl in English has 1 or 2 languages? Ooh. Oh, I would say it's more than 2. I would say it's actually a home run. Yeah, 177 black cases. Which end you start from? Wow. Okay. There it goes. Just gonna have to angle it a little bit. In fact, I'm gonna move it from there. Move it back a little bit. Right there. Just got to get it to get off my I think we're gonna do this another way. Give me a second, guys. Guys, apologies. I'll be right there. Huh. Well, fuck a duck. When something is that small and light, it is remarkably difficult to put on. I need to ask the AmFam today, anyone have experience or have any recommendations for miniature basing resources? I'm going to study it to base my minis. What do you mean by basing? Are you talking about painting? Let's see, make all the Macross kits in the same. Ow! Well, so did Imai and Ari. They usually released everything except for like the Destroid Monster. They released everything in 1/72 and 1/100. Melt them in the spoon so they work faster. Scared to ask what you're saying. Specific Squadron is a Super Valkyrie, not Strike. All the junk on the plane has not that kind of basing. I think not. For base, pink foam insulation using magnets to attach. Then you can have display and play figures. Both of those are good options. Yeah, I'm assuming. I guess I'm trying to figure out. Are you talking about like the actual base for something? I use either MDF or styrofoam or foam in general, like insulation foam. Yeah, Joe's right about that. There's two MDF ones. One is the standard vacuum. The black is the super. Yes, it's with the backpack. Yep. Close enough. Use wood. I used MDF. Yeah. Yep. I used MDF and curled the custom bent the two arms to support it. You borrow samples from Home Depot? Are you talking about the I used to. You're talking about the little tile bases? Yes, those are very good too. Highly recommend those. I'm not sure that they're free anymore. Mike, good morning. How are you? Yeah. Look, there's also guys who, if you go to a show, they sell these things. So there's plenty of options out there for how to proceed. All right, I'm going to try instead here. Glue it in via thin cement. Let's get my tweezers. Just sit there just like that. Hey, Tony, good morning. What's going on, brother? Need to base all of my orcs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so many different options. I mean, I would certainly suggest, if you're talking about miniatures, take a look to see some of the stuff that Michael Wine has done. Gundamonium Works, John Bias, he's done a few different bases. Just follow some miniature guys. I don't know enough about that stuff to, I don't follow those guys generally, but, having gone to shows and seen the stuff that they do, basically it depends on how much you want to put on there. One of our guys at the at Patriot, I think he just uses this like small discs. You can pick that stuff up. Like, how many of those here? Thought I might have had some here, Tom. I guess I don't. But you can get like small discs from like Michael's. Very small things, sheets of plywood, literally. Morning. Just making sure. Army Painter has the better magnets to get a bunch, 2 sizes. I would not buy Army Painter magnets. I would highly recommend buying them off of Amazon. Get yourself some neodymium magnets. Much, much cheaper. Army Painter ain't cheap. My mistake is the BF1 strike, and the Black Ace is super. Just a slight different backpack and decals. Hey, Tony, Nick, Kevin. Just want to make sure everybody is here. Hey, Kevin, before I forget, good morning, Kevin. What's going on, brother? Okay. Have to take Dad to the doctor at 9:30 and get mailed at the P.O. box. Nice. Kevin, Nick, Tony, I've been here. Why is everyone saying my name? We like your name, Nick. What's wrong with that, Nick? You have any problem with that, Nick? Sorry. Guys, give me a second here. Sorry. There you go. Okay. That little greebly bit is in. Oh, got a call from my mom, and my dad isn't doing well. And to be, oh shit, Tom, my apologies. I thought for some crazy reason, I thought your dad had already passed away. Oh no. And where are they? Where are your parents located? I tried other doors when I got them. They were broken and loose in a box. Really, dude? I bought a lot of my stuff. Who was the one? Okay, there's a art. Let's see if I can get this. Art Inc. by DB, I think is what his handle was on Instagram. It's been a long time since I talked to Donnie Baxter, but I remember asking Donnie years ago recommendations for magnets. He goes, go to Amazon, get neodymium magnets, and use typically these sizes because he did a lot of magnet work. And I've got like back because I just used a few, like a couple different sizes right there. And these things are like monster killers. He's in Taiwan since 2019. Got it, Tom. Tom, I apologize. I didn't realize that your father. I honestly thought your father had passed away. And again, I'm very sorry to hear this. How old is your dad, by the way? I'm kind of going through the exact same thing. I'll keep him in my prayers. Yeah. I should get my magnets on AliExpress, like a third of the price, and I have had good luck so far. He did because his memory is totally gone. Oh. I'm so sorry, Tom. Already said my goodbyes back in 2019. So yeah, was a big for a Warhammer figure. Yes, however, those might not be. These are 1x2 magnets, round. Have a good evening, Edwin. Good to see you as always, my friend, and thank you for that information on Javanese. That was very interesting. He's 73. No. Not gonna lie, Tom. It's given that I'm 60, that seems very young. Oh, okay, touche. Excuse me. Apologies, guys. Yeah, we're gonna break that off. Don't need that one. Yeah, on second thoughts, now we're gonna leave it there. We'll find a place to glue that in later on. It is young, yeah. Now I'm gonna grab a very, very thin strip of plastic. We're gonna do one more piece on this side, and then we're gonna flip it over to the other side. Yeah, Tom, that is ridiculously young. Average lifespan is 77. And going down, Nick, here in the U.S. That is almost a minor. Well, Tom he was about 9 years younger than my dad. My dad's memory is also starting to decline. They said because my dad only has about 28% hearing, and that contributes to it. Yeah. My dad was 78. Damn. I feel an obligation to get to 80. After that, great. Yeah. Not to, obviously this could get morbid very, very quickly. My father passed away in 2009, so he would have turned 87 in November. And my mother passed away at 79. Both of them, my dad, due to he just never recovered from surgery. And my mother, due to a car accident. She would have lived she'd still be around right now. Deep into her 90s right now. That woman was built like a brick shithouse. I hope my sister and I both have her genes, and hopefully that gets passed on to my kids. I expect my mood decline when you are in your mid 80s. 50. Exactly, Joe. I mean, Tom, 100% right. Heavy metals and microplastics. I already lost Dad and all my parents. I am second oldest in my family after Mom. Wow. Wow. Well, let's do this real quickly. We've obviously talked about parents and that kind of thing. I'm going to just do this. Here's maybe it's a little cheesy, but I don't care. Here's to our parents and our loved ones, those that we've lost, passed away, and those that unfortunately, like Tom and his dad, sounds like he's on his way out and has been lost for a while. To our parents, folks, okay? They may not have been perfect. My parents were certainly not perfect. They were good people. So, cheers. We also make pills to fix the problems where we need to fix the issue. Yeah. Cheers to them. Okay. Put one last little bit in here, like I said. 4. Let's see if we can do this. I think it's going to be about 3 by 1. Maybe 2.5. Well, can't use this. Don't get enough grab on the piece of plastic. Let me get the chopper out. I agree, Joe. Sure, make 30 years since my dad passed. Wow. That's my maternal grandmother when she was only early 60s to cancer. Maternal grandfather lived to like 89. Wow. Wow. Amazing, isn't it? My grandmother lived till 99. Yeah, my maternal grandmother was, I think, my paternal grandmother died. Oh gosh, she was born in like 1889 and died in 1983 because I was a junior, and I got the notification while we were at state competitions for theater competitions. Putting a Band-Aid on the wound don't just fix the underlying problem. Exactly. This comes up today. 28 years ago today at approximately 4:20 p.m. I lost my dad. Yeah, indeed, Mike. Yeah, this is why we honor them. I'll be honest. My parents, a lot of mistakes. My mother, in particular, she and I did not have a good. We were not talking at the end of her life. But at the same time, it is what it is, right? And I try not to think about the bad, and I try to think about all the good that she did. I remember my paternal grandfather. Yeah, same here. My paternal grandfather died. He fell down the stairs. Like, this is like in the 30s, when my parents had my father and his mother had just moved over, and they were living in East Chicago. Probably did something, concussed himself, took a nap. Remember, don't sleep after you've taken a fall and you hit your head, right? Took a nap, never woke up. Yeah. 28 years to the day. Amazing. What's funny about my maternal grandparents? Grandmother didn't smoke or drink. Grandpa did. Yeah. What does that say, right, Tom? You weren't talking to your mother. I was not. My dad's father passed when I was too young to remember him, and my grandmother passed when I was in high school. She passed on Christmas Eve. Oh, God. Merry Christmas on that one. Oof, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. My dad's mom never drove, drank, or smoked either. Wow. Again, amazing, right? Oh, that hurt. Okay. I know I cut the piece. Where the hell did it go? There it is. Under. It's a ripple part, I feel. I always remember what and when I spoke, especially if it was not good. Oh, I remember very much so. Tom, when you're up here for PatCon this year, I will fill you in then. I'd rather not relive it right now. It was a very dark time, of which my mother made some mistakes, and I finally said I'm done. And it was unfortunate, but it's in the past now. Nothing I can do. There was a blessing that came out of it, but I'll fill you in when we meet next. Nick, have a good one, brother. Enjoy your Friday. I'll take after my mom's side, while my brother takes after my dad. Oof. Wow. Is he all right? Circumstance injured at Ford factory, had no liver, autopsy, died of colon cancer. He also had a pigeon farm, died in '84 at 62. Wow, young. Yeah. That look like my dad, and my brother looks like my mom. That's awesome. Again, genes, aren't they the best? Aren't they the bestest? Swing this thing around. Okay. Just a little bit of a raised panel to get in there. It's something that I saw in the in one of the drawings. My daughter has my genes for physical tenacity and my wife's looks. Yeah. Well, you do have a beautiful daughter. And I've met your wife briefly, and I think I remember what she looks like. Yeah, based on what I've seen, that isn't the case. What? What's not the case? She doesn't have your wife's good looks? What are you trying to say? She's got your looks? No. She's so much better looking than you, Tom. Come on. Let's see. Good morning, Emma. How are you? Hey, you didn't do like one of my uncles in the church before the funeral of my granddad. He was telling grandma that she couldn't spend any of the money he left because he was to inherit 1/4. During the funeral. You haven't seen my baby pictures? We got some stories to tell the next time you're up here, Tom. And Emma, am I going to be seeing you again at the end of September? I hope so. Have your dad put that in the calendar. Yep, lost an uncle on that day too. Wow. For the funeral of my granddad, he was telling grandma that he left because he was doing her 1/4. She looks just like me at the time period. Ah, well. All right, we're almost done. In fact, let's put the chopper away. Because her eyes are big like me. They're big like you? Tom, you're not a small guy. That's pretty big. She's like all eyeball? No. I know what you're trying to say. Her eyes are big like yours. Very expressive. She has big eyes. Very expressive eyes. Tell you guys a little story about. First of all, whoops, wrong way. I love kids. One of the people that I've admired the most, and my father-in-law. My father-in-law was not always a good man. However, he loved children, and he could walk up to anybody and just start engaging with their child, and everybody felt comfortable with it. Like he would come up to them and start talking to the kids. The kids started to engage with him. I mean, in a world like today where that's like scary behavior, I remember watching him on multiple occasions. It's like we're walking down the street, he would engage with the child. Parents are totally good with it and everything. It was such a glorious thing to see how he loved to talk with children. And if there's one thing, and I've taken that from him, if there's one thing I love doing, look, I don't walk down the street and talk to people's kids, but if I'm in a place like with Emma or some other children, whatever, I love talking to the kids. My engineer brought his son in the last couple twice this week, and I love talking to him. I love talking to kids. They don't always engage with me, but I try to engage them in conversation. I want them to feel like, like they're part of these conversations. I don't know what's going on in your world. Her George's baby, which was described as early Jurassic cave paintings. Yes, I'm sure that's a rumor that you started. If he looks enough like me, that people used to ask me if he was mine eventually. Don't have to understand what No, my game is strong. He's my nephew. That's funny, right? Oops, I still need those things. All right, let's get this last part glued down. Okay. Let me show you guys what we got going on, and then we're going to call it a session. Let's see. Okay, let's do this real quickly. Okay. Oops, wrong one. All right. See if you guys can see. So, yeah, I know. Bring it forward, pulling out. Let's pull out something to kind of walk you through. So very quickly in here, we now have, I got to see if I can see what the hell I'm doing here. You can see there's a lot of lead wiring inside there. I've greebled the straps. You can see the straps, like one right there and one right there. I just put in this little panel piece right there and a couple of other little greebly pieces, like the round piece that I just worked on right there and a little block right there. All of that stuff it's just to create the impression of what appears to be inside of the cockpit in the drawings that I've seen. It's once this thing is all closed up. Those bottles actually came out pretty good. That one might need to get moved over a bit. We'll see. No, actually it doesn't. But once this thing is all closed up and the canopy is painted, the likelihood that you're going to be able to get a lot of clarity of the detail in there isn't going to be high. But between some painting and some weathering or whatever, all of that stuff it'll look good enough for what I need it to be. Hey, Robert, good morning. This is the Mitsubishi J8M1. It's basically the Japanese version of the German Comet. Let's show you what a finished version of this thing. And I'm going to probably end up doing this paint scheme as well. I like this paint scheme. It's by a company called MPM. The molding on this thing is terrible. The fit is not bad. The details just, it's lacking, except some of the surface detail isn't too bad. I think it's one of the only 1/72. There might be a Hasegawa one up there. I don't know, but this one was also obviously part of the Kirk collection. The 1/48 by Fine Molds is what that photo that I showed you of, and that's the one whose instructions I'm using to kind of greeble the inside of this thing. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm looking forward to getting it done. It'll probably take me another, I don't know. The cockpit will take me through the weekend. Then we're going to start doing some of the interior painting. I do have a Japanese soldier or pilot who will go in here too. So yeah, let's come along. Later, gents. Peter, have a good evening, my friend. Age is just a number, like prison is just a room. Oh, so prophetic. You do any research on the T stuff and C stuff? I have no idea what those are. Concept or production? The orange color is the prototype. My understanding, there were 2 prototypes. At least from the instructions that I read, and some I haven't done deep history. I'm not going in too deeply on this thing. I don't really care that much. I just like the look of the plane. As you guys probably know, what draws me into whatever model I'm building is the aesthetic. And I like the aesthetic on this thing. I am debating whether or not to put the Hiromarus up. Hiromarus? The round bits on this thing or not. Only because kind of it's fascistic and I'm kind of against that, but we'll see. I might do something totally different on the paint. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, with that, guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I super appreciate it. Good conversations, guys. This is kind of like I keep saying about what we do here. We talk about a whole host of different things. If you're looking to learn how to do some things, this is not the teaching station. You might pick up some stuff, but that's not what we do. What we do here, we have conversations about what kind of draws us. We talked about family today. Tom, again, I all the best to your dad, and of course, I know with Tony, it's always that all the best to your dad. So, guys, go out there and continue to do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. It's a bad world, and it's up to us to make it better, right? So, brighten it as much as you can. Treat people with kindness, just with respect. Doesn't matter who they are. Do good by others. All right. So with that, I'll be back on tomorrow morning for at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We'll see. But do good, enjoy, and I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.